Hi, coming to you live here from the kitchen. I'm already halfway through and it came to me that it might be fun to do a video. I have to tell you, I have this little thing on my mouth. Please don't, it's part of the reason I almost didn't do the video, but I'm using the lockdown time to heal a little thing. It's fine, it's no problem. And I'm even going to a doctor tomorrow, not about COVID, but to make sure it's healing okay. So you'll excuse that. Okay, so Bunny and I are here in the kitchen. Here we are. Chow, 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 chow. I'm on myself. I'm over here on myself. Yeah, she sits up here. She sits up here on the alchemy shelf. I bring her closer so you can see. Here she is. She's hanging out on the alchemy shelf now. And she has her own portrait. You see that? Bunny has her own portrait. Now, admittedly, the alchemy shelf won't be playing a big role today because it is asparagus season. These beautiful asparagus, which I love very, very much. It's also artichoke season, and I'll be making something tomorrow with artichoke. But I'm making risotto because you can see a little bit outside. It's raining today here, and we've been having really beautiful days, which are not risotto days. So rainy day, risotto day, asparagus. Here, what I've got down here is I have 3 different kinds of onions, and they're sweating, as the Italians would call it. What I used, 1 small white, 1 small red, and then there you go. Okay, those are the onions. This is actually asparagus broth, if you will. So I cut off the bottom 2/3 of the asparagus and I steam it, and then I put it in what my friends and I call the machine, and this will be part of the broth because for asparagus you need broth. So I also have in a pot some regular broth. You can see here. I use a vegan sort of a broth just because otherwise use chicken broth. If I'm going to use a meat broth, I prefer to do something homemade. And I need to turn up the heat a little to get them to be really golden. And once they're golden, I will then add the rice. And here I have the risotto rice. I've cleaned it with water, gotten it nice and clean, and then I actually let it sit for a while to let it dry a bit. The critical point is putting in the rice. Things that's really, really important when you put in the rice. Some people put in the rice and then put immediately the broth. Don't do this. You want the rice to sort of sweat a little bit with the onion and to dry out a little bit, especially because you've cleaned it. And even though I let it sit so it could dry, because I cleaned it, now I'm going to sort of, you don't want to burn it, you don't want it to become gold, but you want it to dry a little. And I was told that drying puffs it a bit. These are by my Italian friends from Milan. And then it takes better the juice that you put in, which is actually what cooks the risotto, okay? So I'm gonna leave it here for a second and let it get its flavor going on. So while it's getting its flavor going on, I am going to grate the cheese. Now, I personally believe that Parmesan cheese is a gift from God. I think it's really good, especially in a dish like this. However, I don't, for example, like it on pizza. Here they put it on pizza. I don't really like it. So I just take a plain old cheese grater and I grate that puppy. I don't grate the plastic, it's not good. Now, one of the things you want to know about this, if you have to do a lot of cheese, you might need a special cheese grater, which I have. It's a box and you grate along the top. Friends of ours gave it to us as a present. It's really awesome. Angela of the other recipes from my blog. But I just use this, especially when I'm in the kitchen by my own, because what I'm often doing is I'm listening to something fun that makes me happy on the internet. And then I just grate away like a little kid, happy, playing in the sandbox. Done the cheese, and you'll see that I am super generous with the cheese because, as I said, I think Parmesan is a gift. So I will be putting this in later. This is my Parmesan cheese, and what I don't use will go in a container. Come and visit our risotto. It's here, and it's happy, and it's broth. Now, you might be noticing that my pot is moving. I'm holding the camera with the hand I would usually use to hold the pot. When I came to Italy, one of the things I discovered was the pure luxury of a lemon. And we use lemons a lot in Turkey as well. But if you can see here, what I have is this is a lemon rind. which I very carefully took off the lemon, and then I cut it into tiny, tiny, tiny little pieces, and now I'm sort of drying it, not exactly, but I'm releasing its flavor, because I'm going to put it in this pot together with the asparagus and the rice for the asparagus risotto, because just that little essence of the lemon rind can make all the difference in the taste. So the lemon, it's just right. I can smell it, so I know that it's released the flavor, and I'm just going to dump it on in. I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to bring you with me. I'm going to dump it on into here, just like that. And I'm going to save a little bit, and the little bit I save, I'm going to sprinkle over the top when I serve it, okay? So it's just a little, it's just a hint. It brings out the flavor of the other things. It's a little bit like salt. Now to the phase where I actually will be stirring, okay? So what I do is I stir with a motion like this. So with a rounding, moving motion. And some people would say that you could use this spatula to make sure that things stay off the side. However, it is super important that you use a wooden spoon. When you're making risotto, a wooden spoon is super important. It has to do with the properties and releasing out the cream of the rice. So I'm going to go offline. I'm not going to stir the whole time, also because upstairs they're doing construction and it's noisy. Okay, we're back for nearly the final product. So let me show you what's been happening since we last were together. In here, I have the tips of the asparagus that I've steamed, and I'm going to put them on top. And in here, we have the risotto just about done. You can see it's almost creamy enough. And I'm going to put in the last bit of the asparagus juice. Okay, that's all in, dumped in. So while I'm cooking, there's some work going on upstairs, so I keep going on and off. Okay, so here we are. We're at the final touches. I'm doing the stirring. I showed you that I had the tops going on, and now it's just about done. I want to show you the consistency as it moves. It's not thin or thick, it's somewhere right in the middle. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that is called Mantecato. I am going to stir for another minute or two. Okay, so final, we're going to take this cheese right here. We're going to sprinkle it in generously. I'm sprinkling 2 in. Then I'm going to stir it so that the cheese folds in to the risotto. Now, one of the things you want to be careful with, if you're going to use Parmesan cheese, please don't put too much salt, because the Parmesan itself is salty. It's better to let people put extra salt. Put enough salt for your taste, but maybe 1/3 less than you would usually put if you're going to have the Parmesan. Put on the lid, turn it off, and in 5 minutes, it'll be ready. Greetings from my herb garden. Here on our balcony, I have thyme, oregano, parsley, sage, and basil. Finally, Melissa, and my beautiful geraniums, which give me much joy with all their colors, accompany me as I eat the final product. Voila! Asparagus risotto served on our balcony with a beautiful view